understands that and agrees about the need for continuity. We are reaching the same level of maturity in the domain of operational oceanography, and it's a matter of all the players convincing the deciders about the need.
All right, don't forget some of the questions that were asked, such as wave energy, tsunami detection, et cetera, et cetera. So each of you, somebody is going to have to answer them. Jean, and of course, wind up also with what your priority request would be. Jean-François, I go to you next.
I want to react to some. Concerning tsunami detection, indeed, what is critical in the tsunami detection system is to provide the information to the population and to educate the population to take care of it. The second point is as important as getting the information, and everybody knows that the countries which do that education draw much benefit from the information, and those who cannot do that have severe loss.
Perhaps I could just add a word in which moderators should never do, but I will because I've been working on it with parts of the United Nations, different areas. One of the biggest difficulties is not only getting the information, if it were possible, and we'll come back to that in time, but even more important is at the moment, conflicting levels of ways that information is delivered to these populations, and the effort that is now being put to make compatible, interoperable systems, as well as understanding that when you deliver information, whether it's about earthquakes or anything, you're often dealing with populations that are not internet connected, that may not even have anything more than very local language radio reception capabilities. We've been working across very many organizations on mobile use of SMS, mobile use, and even that is problematic when it comes to knowing what systems to send out on and so on. So it's one thing to say from the satellite point of view, from the space technology point of view, what we can tell. It's a whole nother problem to say, well, once we know it, are we just going to sit here and cry because we can't do anything about it? Or is there a second level, which is equally important, of delivering that information where it should go? But this is just to let you know that people are thinking about it and are working very hard to try and get that connectivity into populations and across populations that have very different abilities to receive it. I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please go ahead, Jean-François.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Concerning historical data, the ocean data are extremely precious, meaning that the ocean data centers tend to keep the data, maintain them, accommodate them into larger data systems in order to provide access to them. Of course, there are data which are lost, but at the same time, my personal feeling, my 30 years of experience in ocean sciences, tells me that the data who are lost generally are second quality data. The good quality data are extensively used and managed in general. That's my belief. In particular, the biology data, historical biology data, even from the 19th century, are there, and specialists can use them. Concerning the RES navigation, that's appropriate to mention.
Yes, you've got big tankers and things.
There are many other systems which were not mentioned. Very high resolution measurements for coastal management, data for fishery management, and things like that. All activities that need information, and a lot of this information is built on satellite systems plus other data and integration. So your example for navigation is fully appropriate, and there are many others which were not mentioned. Concerning the ocean energy, indeed, prediction of sea state, understanding of the ocean current, and prediction of the places where the ocean current are regular, well assessed, is part of the history for identifying the appropriate sites for developing ocean energy system. It is not so far the critical aspect. The critical aspect is demonstrating the technology for a long time at sea to see whether it survives long enough and whether it is economic. This is the critical aspect. There are plenty of sites. We do have some information. For ocean current, the best current is the one which is regular. This means the tidal current. And we know where it is. So it is not the critical aspect for developing ocean energy. It is the test of the technology for long lifetimes at sea.
Thank you very much, Jean-François. Jean?
Maybe I could take the AIS question again. You dwelled a little bit about it. That's true that we talked more of oceanography than of ocean surveillance and monitoring of the human activity which is on the sea. AIS is being considered as one important data for maritime surveillance systems which may emerge in the coming years. But AIS is probably to evolve as well. It's not meant to be only a space tool, and unfortunately, even the lowest altitude spacecraft is several hundred kilometers from the Earth's surface, and AIS may be not that well adapted to be used for space systems, but it is considered in conjunction to several other data sources. Maybe I will quote Amiral Forissier of yesterday, who said that at sea you should not rely on the classical, very Cartesian approach of this is the thing, let's go with it. You have to be robust. All the systems need to be ruggedized in order to be robust to any kind of condition. And talking about maritime surveillance and security at sea, there are many actors that can use many different modus operandis where AIS is of use, but not only. So you have to think about a global